Hello, my name is Carmen. I'm a Twitch VTuber and I'm also a book lover. I read horror, dark fiction, and mystery. As always, I'm open to suggestions, so please post your recommendations in the comments. I am doing a combination of a recent book haul and my May TBR for this video. First, I visited my local independent used bookstore and made a few purchases. The first book I bought was Tuesdays with Maury. This is a classic from 1997 by Mitch Albom. This is about friendship from two different generations. Next, I got The Apollo Murders by Chris Hadfield. I originally mentioned this book on my March Mystery Madness Journey book tag. I will link that video in the description. I mentioned that I was interested in starting this series, but I was a little intimidated by the length of this book. Fortunately, I was able to find it at my used bookstore, so I'm going to interpret that as a sign that I should give this series a try. Finally, I bought I'm Still Here by Cleli Avit. I know I'm mispronouncing that. So please let me know how to pronounce this. This book is translated from French, I believe, from by Lucy Foster. This is a book about a teenager in a coma who starts receiving visits from a young man who just sits there and starts talking to her. He thinks she's in a coma, that she can't hear him, but she's actually alert enough to be able to hear, but she can't move around. He starts visiting her, starts talking to her, and it sounds like he has a life that's a family situation, perhaps, that is very dramatic, and really just needs somebody to talk to. For my May TBR, I'm going to be participating in Horror Mayhem. I've seen this hosted by the channel Criminally in the past. Of course, this is my first year of streaming, so this is the first time I've been able to participate in that. Of course, I really love horror books, so this is perfect for me. But I believe it was originally hosted by the channel of the Bookish Bryants. The challenge this year is to read shorter works of fiction. I love short fiction books. There's two reasons for that. My attention span is terrible, and with work and home, it's just difficult for me to read long books. I generally read at bedtime, and I fall asleep quite quickly. The longer a book takes to read, the easier it is for me to get distracted by another book. Short books are just perfect for me. So, the first book I will be reading for Horror Mayhem is The Compulsive Writer by C.A.M. Munoz. This is an independent author. I received the book through NetGalley. I will be reading this book on Kindle. It is about a man whose life is falling apart. He finds his old typewriter and he starts writing compulsively. It sounds like he's going to start ignoring everything else in his life, like possibly sleeping, eating. I've gotten about 14% through the book. I'm really liking it so far. I like how it's written. This book is 202 pages. Next, I have a few possibilities from my home library. The first is What Stalks the Deep by T. Kingfisher. I've read a lot of books by T. Kingfisher and I really like that author. I am mostly into the horror genre. I'm not into the fantasy books that T. Kingfisher writes, but the horror novels that I've read by T. Kingfisher I really like. So this book sounds like it is about a haunted mine. It's super short, it's 179 pages. Next is Strange Pictures by Uketsu. This was on my list for March Mystery Madness, but I just ran out of time to read that month. I was doing the middle grade March challenge as well, so I just ran out of time. This book is 236 pages. The next book is Penpal by Dathan Auerbach. I was browsing the horror shelves at Barnes& and Noble and I saw this book. What grabbed my attention is that letter writing is one of my hobbies. I bought it and then I saw it mentioned by Peyton on the channel Book in Hand. Peyton thought this book was very scary and I'm excited to read it myself. This book is 242 pages. Finally, I have the book Midnight on Beacon Street. This book is by Emily Ruth Verona. I also found this book at my local used bookstore. I appreciate my local used bookstore so much. Many of the books on this channel come from there. This story is taking place in the 90s. It is about a babysitter and two young children that the babysitter is watching. Sounds like they're being terrorized by somebody that comes to the door. It sounds super creepy, and this is 195 pages. I want to thank you so much for watching my recent book haul and my picks for Horror Mayhem. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to this channel to be notified of my upcoming videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.